Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Joe True and Love, here with your AEW Dynamite review for, well, it is the 10th, but for December 7th, 2022, was a very good show, or I would say not very good, pretty good edition of Dynamite. Um, some good stuff in prelude to Winter's Coming for next week on Wednesday for the 14th, which should be a very good show. But Dynamite, you know, not a lot really newsworthy. We'll talk about William Regal. Um, talk about that great promo by Ricky Starks. Samoa Joe, Darby Allin had damn good match for the TNT title, along with the Acclaimed and FTR for the main event. But before I get into it all, thank you for joining me. If you're new to the podcast, want to see more pro wrestling related vids on the channel, click the subscription there in the corner. Take you to the channel, take you to the homepage, find all videos there. Also, click the notification bell, find out when I actually post my videos so you can get them as soon as you can. But nonetheless, thank you, and let's get started. So, it's been a strange topic, but as of late, and I didn't really want to talk about it until there was more news to it, but it sounds after Dynamite on Wednesday and after reports flying around on social media, it's become official that William Regal has decided to leave AEW and go back to be a coach for WWE and probably NXT, where his son, aka Charlie Dempsey, who wrestler for NXT, to be with his son. Um, you know, there are also reports that during the timeline between All Out and Grand Slam, it was a very emotional time for Tony Khan. And his mother had a stroke, and, you know, best wishes to him and his family. Um, but nonetheless, those reports and time with his family made him realize that, yeah, if William Regal wants to be with his son, or want to coach for the WWE again, then by all means, it's the right thing for him to do. So, good for Tony Khan, and good for AEW in that professionalism for him. And yeah, good for both parties. And speaking of that, there was a segment this on Dynamite where they tried to clear up, you know, William Regal's exit from the company. Excuse me. And I mean, last week was fine when MJF turned on William Regal, knocking him out, him being stretchered out an ambulance out of the arena. That was perfectly fine for his exit. And they tried to do something on Dynamite, which, give or take, how that added to, the explanation, really, of William Regal. But, you know, William Regal is obviously one of the best minds in pro wrestling. You know, specifically when you went from in-ring competition to becoming, or from WWE to being the GM of NXT, and the way he manifested that role so well, for him to only be fired and let go by Vince McMahon, and came to AEW, made his debut in February, or at Revolution, in that great match with John Moxley and Bryan Danielson. Now less than a year. It's not even the end of 2022. And, I get that for William Regal to be back with his son. But still, it's a big loss for AEW, first and foremost. But good that Tony Khan decided for William Regal to be back with his kid again in WWE. And, Triple H obviously running things now in the E. So, kudos to both parties for being as professional and, doing this the best they could. Let's get into Dynamite, shall we? So, Dynamite started off with the Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal. This was as cataclysmic as you could get, or so. Yeah, a bunch of names out there. Ricky Starks, Jack Perry, Jungle Boy, and Dustin Rhodes got entrances. And then there was the rest. So, briefly go over the eliminations. So, excuse me. Orange Cassidy was eliminated. a guy who probably should have got an entrance as well on TV. Kip Sabian was eliminated. Dustin Rhodes, Don Castle, Brian Cage, Butcher, Jungle Boy, and Lee Moriarty, both eliminated. Morrissey was on the outside, gave Jungle Boy a devastating chokeslam on the apron. So the final four: Ethan Page, Matt Hardy, Captain Shawn Dean, and Ricky Starks. So, of course, Matt Hardy's been this feud with The Firm and Ethan Page. So, Page told Hardy to eliminate Shawn Dean, and Page did it by himself. So then it looked like things were going to boil over between the two, but then they went 2-on-1 versus Ricky Starks. Hardy tried to eliminate Starks, but got eliminated himself, and then Page looked like he was about to throw Starks over the top rope, but Starks countered, and Page run up eliminated, and Ricky Starks wins the Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal. Really, before his entrance music got underway, MJF went out to ring, strolled out to ring, and his music played. And this is great. Ricky was in one corner of the ring. MJF was like, I'll get to you in a minute. He said, Brian Nelson, Lil Birdie told me that you don't want to be here. And MJF said, because you're terrified of me. After seeing what he did to William Regal, it's no surprise. Because he's a bad, bad man. Turn to Ricky. So then next week, he'll be known as a 4-time winner of the Dynamite Diamond Ring. So he'll still be the holder of the Triple B, the AEW World Title, or the new Big Burberry belt, whichever you want to call it. So he said the people there seem to really like Starks. Excuse me, and they gravitate towards him like he's some kind of held down generational or god pro wrestling star. So MJF said the truth is that in comparison to him, Starks is the absolute drizzling shits. Or you could also call him a Rudy Poo candy ass. He called him a dollar store Dwayne, aka The Rock, since obviously the comparisons have been made for Ricky Starks. So, said from now on, since he's pretty much stolen everything from that guy. He said that he's going to call him the Pebble. Said next week he's going to put him in his pocket, and then in his brand new Porsche, he's going to drive to the nearest body of water, and he's going to skip him all the way back to Billy Corgan's NWA so he can wrestle on YouTube where he belongs. So, took snap and a crack at Billy Corgan and NWA. So, and he said his reign of terror, he's a generational talent, has just begun. So, Sark shoved MJF, grabbed the microphone, called him Maxi Pad, which got a good reaction from the crowd. Which ticked off MJF a bit. Sark said he should have expected a fifth-rate Roddy Piper wannabe to come out and steal the spotlight. They trashed the city, trashed the people. And he said, how much more of the shtick because the low-hanging fruit is running dry, partner. So he trashed his shoes, saying his clothes are never ironed. Said if he took off his shirt, he looked like he'd been ant farmed for 7 hours. Said his shirt is too small. He has a shitty scarf, shitty haircut. And you think you're better than moi? Give me a break. He said everything about him screams cheap. His clothes, his shoes, his scarf. Everything about him. And that he's our new AEW champion. Said the difference between them is that when people got behind him, he gave them a reason to keep going. MJF said he let the people down, he let Regal down. He said that Ricky delivers on time every night, every week, every month. Said that between them, there's also a big responsibility that he knows nothing about. Says he fails to go in meet and greets. Well, Ricky Stark signs him. Says that Ricky lives with dignity and respect. Said when he lived in South Austin in his car, he knew about grinding and providing for himself. He said that MJF doesn't deserve the world title, but he does. And that he's 10 toes down. He's going to smack the mole off MJF's neck. He's going to stomp an asshole in him. And that he's taking the world title. And that next week is a big deal. He's going to do him a favor and take the responsibility off his plate, little boy. Ricky Starks was spitting. He was very much spitting. So, MJF gave him a low blow. and was about to drop him with the Dynamite down the ring, but Starks got out of the way, delivered a big spear on MJF, held up the AEW World title. MJF fled, and that was how the segment ended. Great stuff, great stuff. Starks is great. Just need a moment, and he took it. So, good for him. And MJF, this is going to be a fun matchup next week between two of the young stars of AEW. John Moxley, he got a promo backstage talking about the Hangman. Says he respects Hangman for what he did last week. Not talking, just is talking with his fists. Saying he's tired of the JS, tired of the sports entertainment BS. That he's going to be out with Yuta and Claudio later to prevent any sports entertainment crap. And yeah. He says that final battle, him and the Blackpool Comic Club and the JS stuff will be over. So, yeah. Look, Moxley, no mention of the AEW World title. I mean, it is a bit strange, I get, for people. It does seem a bit odd that, people seem like they're waving goodbye to Moxley for a while at Full Gear when he lost his title. And then now, not even entertaining a rubber match because right now they're 1-1, Moxley and MJF. But Moxley seems more bent on the JS and Hangman. So that's a little iffy, I can see, for a bunch of people. One sec, sorry. Girlfriend just texted me. Love you, baby. So, go from that to Darby on for Samoa Joe for the TNT Championship. So, this was fun. A fun match. So, as you expect, so the spot of the match clearly, well, maybe the second best spot, you be the judge. Darby went for his signature suicida, and Joe, the funniest part about him, the way he is, just walked out of the way. Just walked out of the way. Probably his best spot. So, Darby crashed and burned. Joe exposed the concrete. So, Darby got out of a powerbomb attempt, but Joe still slammed Darby on the concrete on the outside. Brutal spot there. Back in ring, Joe lands some offense. Hit Darby with a senton for a near fall. Darby then tried to fire back with some offense. Sent Joe into his steps. Hit a coffin drop. Knocking Joe to the outside. Back in ring, hit Code Red for a 2. And then great spot to end it. So Darby went for a coffin drop. Joe was down in the ring. Joe countered and caught Darby out of the coffin drop into the coquina clutch. Darby passed out. And Joe got the victory. Joe retained. Afterwards, Darby was defiant. Wanted some more. Joe, with Darby's skateboard, used the skateboard on the backside. Hit a muscle buster on Darby. On the back of the skateboard, jeez. I mean, there's been times I've accidentally ran over my fingers just with a skateboard when I was younger. When I was trying to get myself on a skateboard. Luckily, I was able to, but when I was younger, but yeah. That would not be great. So afterwards, Wardlow came out for a save on Darby. That was it. And yeah. Claudio Castagnoli and Will Yuta versus Jake Hager, Dan Garcia. Decent match between the four. Hager tossed a bucket hat to Claudio. He kicked it to the crowd. Simple, but funny stuff there. One sec, I have to text my girlfriend again really quick. Sorry. Boys, guys, one sec. Okay. Sorry about that, 1 sec. So, okay, back to JS. There was a great spot in this match. So, we've seen many times with the Blackpool Comic Club where a bunch of times they will have holds on the same time and it's just like a good visual, good submission holds on the middle of the ring, or they're all doing the anvil elbows to their opponents. So, this spot in the match, so Hager had a ankle lock on Claudio. Garcia had the Dragon Tamer on Utah. So that was a good little spot. But then Claudio countered and Hager and Garcia butted heads. Claudio hit Hager with a big uppercut and there was that. And Claudio got the win. Ahead of final battle. Ray faces Chris Jericho. Wins, he gets the Ring of Honor World title. Loses, he's in the JS. So, something to think about. Something to think about. So, Jamie Hayter. Now, speaking of final battle first, I mean, seems like a good card for later in the day. Maybe if I can get a hold of the highlights, maybe I can do a review. I'll see. It seems like a quality card. We'll see. But if there is a review, it'll likely be Monday. But keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. So Jamie Hayter, she has to sit down with Tony Schiavone. Jamie, she said that the women's division is in good situation and it's thriving, getting better. And that she's in her duty as champion and that she's keeping a close eye on the Hikaru Shida versus the Bunny match on Rampage. And the winner of that can challenge her for the women's title if they so please. Hikaru Shida, yes, versus Jamie Hayter. The Bunny hasn't done shit to, or hasn't really done anything to warrant challenging Jamie Hayter. So that's a weird proclamation for that match on Rampage. And even though she's barely been on TV really since All Out. So I don't know. Britt Baker and Saraya. So backstage with Tony Schiavone. So Britt made a challenge to Saraya to be in LA in 1 month for a match. And Saraya's like, okay, I'll be glad to be you again. And they said there'll be a tag team match, or Britt said. That'll be her and Hayter for Saraya mystery partner. So Saraya said it's no problem, she'll find somebody. And that, so, interesting. So, two names definitely come to mind. Definitely a thought. So, two names that have been out for a long while now. Chris Statlander and Thunder Rosa. So, Thunder Rosa obviously vacated her women's title in August, and due to a back issue, and she hasn't been back since. If you're gonna announce a match a month in advance, it's gotta be a big name. Chris Statlander, the other one. Chris, you know, is definitely a viable name to be able to take the title off either Jade or Jamie Hayter. So I mean, I could see if it's Tony Storm, probably that wouldn't be as big. So it's definitely a thought to see who it will be in LA in a month. We'll see. We'll see. So, main event. The Acclaimed versus FTR for the AEW World Tag Team titles. Good match. Good match. This match, though, with the build, so big, kind of wish there was more build behind it, but, only hold off FTR for so long, getting another crack at the tag team titles. This is a good match, and you were worried about the crowd reactions because how over both teams are. But they both got their cheers in, and they both got their love. I will say that. So, Wheeler crashed to the outside, which took him out for a bit. Caster was getting beaten down for majority of the match. Gave a hot tag to Bowens. Bowens ran roughshot and on both FTR members. He had a neck breaker for a 2 or a near fall. Then towards the end of the match, it got much more hectic. So FTR is spike pile driver for a near fall. Looked like they were going for a double brainbuster, it appeared. But thanks to assist by Caster, Bowens rolled up, I believe, Wheeler for a near fall. Then the Acclaimed hit a wheelbarrow cutter for 2. FTR, after a few attempts, went for the big rig, but was broken up for near fall. Cashed in, hit some big lariats, big clotheslines. And then went for a powerbomb on Caster, and then looked to roll through, but Caster rolled up, Wheeler, high stack, 1, 2, 3, champs retain, good stuff for the Acclaimed, and there's that. Afterwards, show respect between the two teams. The Gun Club, or the Guns, show up on the big screen with a Christmas gift for FTR. Gave a message from them boys, the Briscoes, for a challenge for Final Battle in a double dog collar match. Match 3 of these two teams is, Super Card of Honor, that match was great. Death Before Dishonor, 2 out of 3 falls, that was off the charts. Now you got a double dog collar match. Here's the thing. Final Battle is today. And the challenge will lay out on Wednesday. We didn't see the Briscoes. There were mention of them, but we didn't see them. All throughout this process for Final Battle. And a match this big. It's just crazy how the Warner Brothers or AEW, whichever, not allowing the Briscoes to be on AEW television. It's unfortunate. But nonetheless, it was a good edition of Dynamite. Nothing too special besides the TNT title match and great promo by Starks. But yeah, nonetheless, thank you for joining me. If you like this video, leave a like, leave a thumbs up, upload the video, help out the channel. But thank you all. I am Joe Love. Thank you all. See you guys next week. Peace.